Growing up, my parents weren't the most adventurous when it came to our food choices. And we were pretty much a meat and potatoes family. Going out was pretty much the same, not that there were a lot of choices. There was one authentic Mexican food place in our area. I had heard of sushi, but never tried it. And pretty much the only place you could get Chinese food was at the food court in the mall. Now, as an adult, this has led to trying a lot of things that I have never tried, like durian, the sweet, spiky fruit that's grown in Southeast Asia. We were on a vacation with some of my wife's family in Thailand, and we were offered durian ice cream. Now, if you've never tried it, durian is incredibly sweet, as mentioned, but it smells horrendously terrible. Some describe it saying it tastes like heaven, but smells like hell. Now, I tried enough of it to say that I did so. Others in our party consumed more, and of them, there were some who it didn't agree with. Sadly, they got sick to their stomach. Sweet to the taste and sour in the stomach. I often think of this experience when reading Revelation 10. Picking up in verse 8, John tells us, "Then the voice that I heard from heaven spoke to me once more. Go, take the scroll that lies open in the hand of the angel who is standing on the sea and on the land." He continues, "So I went to the angel and asked him to give me the little scroll. He said to me, 'Take it and eat it. It will turn your stomach sour, but in your mouth it will be sweet as honey.' I took the little scroll from the angel's hand and ate it. It tasted as sweet as honey in my mouth, but when I had eaten it, my stomach turned sour." In Psalm 119, the psalmist reflects, "How sweet are your words to my taste, sweeter than honey to my mouth." Psalm 19:10 is similar. Now, the prophet Jeremiah echoes the theme of delighting in God's word. Now, we're even told that he consumes them. Now, these ideas are almost assuredly in the background in Revelation. But I suspect that the text is more closely connected to Ezekiel 3. There, prophet Ezekiel is told to eat a scroll, and it shouldn't come as a surprise that it tastes like honey in his mouth. Unlike John's experience in Revelation, Ezekiel doesn't describe the scroll as bitter or sour in his stomach, at least not in those words. But given that Ezekiel 2 verse 10 describes the scroll's contents as words of lament and mourning and woe, the very least it could be described as bitter. Next time we'll start with the question, why did the sweet scroll John consumed become sour in his stomach? But in the meantime, let's just camp out on the underlying metaphor implicit in eating the scroll. And what we eat, we metabolize. Of course, some of it becomes waste, gross. But what isn't literally becomes a part of us. It's our hair, our fingernails, muscles, our insulation, and extra energy stores. God's word is intended to be a delight to us, and it's intended to sustain us and make us who we are. In the wilderness showdown with Satan, Jesus quotes Deuteronomy 8:3, saying, "Man does not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord." Now, there's a unique calling upon the biblical prophets that isn't upon us as everyday believers. Their consumption of God's word was for a different end and purpose. But it's a fair question for us as to whether we're consuming God's word in a way that sustains and forms us. You know the old saying, "You are what you eat." Now, if that's true, our spiritual diet should and is evident in who we are and who we're becoming. I hope that challenges you as much as it does me. Have a great week.